What is good? Yes, we are live. And you know what I realized right before I came up here? I realized that I was out of creamer. And if you're like me, I like coffee with my creamer.
Huh? We get the flavored coffees now. So there's that creamer, a little bit of coffee, and then flavored coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, but I went through my phase of attempting the all black straight, you know, that mountain man coffee, and yeah, I'm doing it today, so you know, y'all pray for me.
Oh.
So what was on the menu this morning, bro? You did any fancy breakfast? Since that we are on coffee, crepes, leadership, and pancakes.
You know, I didn't. I did eggs in a nest. I don't know if you ever had those, but it's a fried egg inside of a little hole you cut in a piece of toast. You butter that all up and fry in the pan. It's pretty good, but
Yeah.
It's not crepes. It's not crepes.
You know, I will have to confess, I don't think I've had crepes since we started.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some crepes up, and then I'm going to vacuum seal them, and I'm going to send them to you. You're going to be responsible for the fruits and the fillings, but I'm going to give you the baseline of those crepes.
Hey, because you know, I'm sure my wife can do it, but she be so busy sometimes. I just be like, you know, I don't want to bug her.
It happens.
Yeah. So today we're talking a janitor's 10 lessons in leadership. And so I think that you read this before we brought it to the group, right?
Yep. I've read this one before.
And I read it a while ago myself. I actually, it's one of the ones that I would for the LPD with the juniors.
Uh-huh.
Just one that I really like to go over with, you know. What's up, Inspector Nacho? Yeah, one of my juniors.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Just to go over, because it's, you know, it's one of those things. I think it's it's good for that humble, that reminder. You know, don't let your rank dictate, you know, how you treat people.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense. You know, some people, their only thing they have is their rank. You know, like they were bullied in school, they got a little rank, and then, you know, they treat people like that bully that was in school, and or just treat people like trash. So I really like this one.
I absolutely do too. Yeah, I've got a quote at the very beginning of this one. When you thought this, or when you sent this out and said, "Hey, this is what we're doing," this one popped into my mind. Higher position means higher expectations, not more leeway to get away with things. That's you know, that's what drives this idea of, oh, they're just a junior soldier, oh, they're just a civilian, they're just a janitor, you know, and it's that attitude of I'm more important in this organization because of my position.
Right.
We're all making the organization go along, no matter which one it is, you know.
That's right. I like that quote, bro. Say it one more time.
Higher position means higher expectations, not more leeway to get away with things.
Yeah. Oh, we got Lisa Heron in the house. What's up, Lisa? How are you? One of the brats. Berlin's in the house. I hear you. All right, bro. So we're gonna dig into this thing, man. This is we got some unpacking to do. Again, this is a janitor's 10 lessons in leadership by Colonel James Moscott. If I butchered that, I apologize. If you guys want to, you know, check it out, you could always go online and, you know, search a janitor's 10 lessons in leadership, and it'll pop right up with various, you know, ways of seeing it. You know, some of them are the cool article with his picture on there. Some of them are just a regular old write-up. So we're getting into it. All right. William Bill Crawford certainly was an unimpressive figure, one you could easily overlook during a hectic day at the U.S. Air Force Academy. Shout out to the Air Force. Mr. Crawford, as most of us referred to him back in the late 70s, was our squadron janitor. While cadets busied, wow, do I need my glasses? While cadets busied ourselves preparing for academic exams, athletic events, Saturday morning parades, and room inspections. Sounds like a good old time down in Whiskey Land or Fort Sam, or any TRADOC base. For never-ending leadership classes, Bill quietly moved about the squadron, mopping and buffing floors, emptying trash cans, cleaning toilets, or just tidying up the mess 100 college kids can leave in a dormitory. I don't think we had anything like that, did we? We didn't have nothing like that. We were.
Yeah. It was definitely, we were the janitorial staff.
We were. If you was a holdover or a hold under, you were, Mr. Crawford.
Students and cadre alike.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah. Shout out to the Air Force. Sadly, and for many reasons, many years, few of us gave him much notice, rendering little more than a passing nod or throwing a curt G morning in his direction as we hurried off to our daily duties. Why? Perhaps it was because of the way he did his job. He always kept the squadron area spotless, clean, even the toilets and showers gleamed. Frankly, he did his job so well none of us had to notice or get involved. After all, cleaning toilets was his job, not ours. Maybe it was his physical appearance that made him disappear into the background. Bill didn't move very quickly, and in fact, you could say he even shuffled a bit, as if he suffered from some sort of injury. His gray hair and wrinkled face made him appear ancient to a group of young cadets, and his crooked smile, well, it looked a little funny. Face it, Bill was an old man working in a young person's world. What did he have to offer us on a personal level? And you got something you want to add to this part real quick, Matt?
Yeah, so I wrote there, one lesson that's very difficult to teach a young person is that getting old is hard work, and it doesn't get easier as you go. Every year comes with its own challenges and lessons. Getting old rarely happens without significant effort, so there's almost always something unique that our elders can teach us. It doesn't matter who they are or where they work or what they do, the farmer, the garbage man, the electrician, the plumber, any of those services or anybody that works in our field directly. They've all lived a life that is vastly different from everyone else's, and we all have our own experiences and our own lessons. Making it to, an advanced age, it doesn't happen by accident most times.
That's right. Yep. Hey, we got Stockton OG in the house, and we got Jewel Junkie in the house. She said, "What's poppin', Papa, Gift and guests? Nice to see y'all back in full effect." Yes, we took a little while off, y'all. Everybody was busy over the summer. People moving, doing stuff. Finally got some breaks and vacations. So, yeah, we're trying to kick it back up and get the wheels back traction so we can get this thing going. Because we enjoy coming together and breaking bread. And Inspector Nacho said, "Hold under gang." The hold under gang. Yes. So, finally, maybe it was Mr. Crawford's personality that rendered him almost invisible to the young people around him. Bill was shy, almost painfully so. He seldom spoke to a cadet unless they addressed him first, and that didn't happen very often. Our janitor always buried himself in his work, moving about with stooped shoulders, a quiet gait, and an averted gaze. If he noticed the hustle and bustle of cadet life around him, it was hard to tell. So, for whatever reason, Bill blended into the woodwork and became just another fixture around the squadron. The Academy, one of our nation's premier leadership laboratories, kept us busy from dawn to dusk. And Mr. Crawford, well, he was just a janitor. He was just a janitor. I like the way he wrote this, though, because he's speaking as if he's there now. You know what I mean? To get you.
Yeah.
He's sucking us into this, right?
It definitely takes you back.
He's baiting me because I'm like, he's just a janitor. Oh, Stockton OG said, "I was just at the Air Force Academy last week. The Tangos took us up there where they have the Falcons that they fly on game day." Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Makes me want to join the Air Force. That place was nice.
It's beautiful, and it's about 10 minutes from my house. And let me tell you,
what?
It's still an absolutely amazing facility. Yeah, definitely worth visiting if anybody gets a chance to get out here.
Hey, that's classic Air Force stuff, man. It's good.
Colorado Springs, gotta love it.
Yeah, yep. Okay, so he was just a janitor. That changed one fall Saturday afternoon in 1976. I was reading a book about World War II and the tough Allied group campaign in Italy when I stumbled across an incredible story. On September 13, 1943, a private William Crawford from Colorado, right where you at, bro, assigned to the 36th Infantry Division, had been involved in some bloody fighting on Hill 424 near Altavilla, Italy. The words on the page leapt out at me. In the face of intense and overwhelming hostile fire, and with no regard for personal safety, on his own initiative, Private Crawford single-handedly attacked fortified enemy positions. It continued for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity. At risk of life above and beyond the call of duty, the President of the United States. Holy cow, I said to my roommate. You're not going to believe this, but I think our janitor is a Medal of Honor winner. We all knew Mr. Crawford was a World War II Army vet, but that didn't keep my friend from looking at me as if I was some sort of alien being. Nonetheless, we couldn't wait to ask Mr. Bill about the story on Monday. We met Mr. Crawford bright and early Monday and showed him the page in question from the book. Anticipation and doubt on our faces. He stared at it for a few silent moments and then quietly uttered something like, "Yep, that's me." Mouths agape, my roommate and I looked at one another, then at the book, and quickly back at our janitor. Almost at once, we both stuttered, "Why didn't you ever tell us about it?" He slowly replied after some thought, "That was one day in my life, and it happened a long time ago." I guess we were all at a loss for words after that. We had to hurry off to class, and Bill, well, he had chores to attend to. What you got on this, Matt?
You know, that comment really stuck out to me. It was one day in my life, and it was a long time ago. How many heroic things have we seen and done, or taken part in, and had that be a part of our life, a very important thing then. But it's over the course of a very busy day, or, firefights that feel like days that could have been an hour, or, not even in combat.
Right.
There's things that we do that would be considered amazing that are just overshadowed by everything else that's going on. The humility to not allow that to define who he was as a person and say, hey, I'm going to move forward with life and continue doing what I'm doing, not be this puffed up, I did this thing, look at me, right? I think that's really hard for a lot of people to do. I mean, I'm not saying downplay everything good that you do. I'm not saying if you do something amazing and heroic, it shouldn't be recognized, because It definitely should. But allowing those things to be your only identity, I see too many people doing that. I mean, you can read their careers on the shirts and hats they wear every day in their pickup trucks or cars or whatever it is, whichever side, that's their entire life based around one little thing.
Yeah.
And this man, who is a Medal of Honor recipient, didn't do that. Yeah. So humility,
Yeah, man. I had a soldier that was like that. I think he's a sergeant major now. But it was crazy. So he was one of my I was a senior. It was in Whiskey Land. And one of the commander, he was like, we're trying to get this guy. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. But he brought the dude in, and he was a really good guy. Just top notch. And he fit right in with the rest of the group. You know how it is when you have somebody new jump into the group, and it's like you had issues before, you filtered and weeded out those ones that was not so great, even though you didn't have the amount that you needed. You had the core that you needed. And he came right in, man. He was a good worker. I actually had to kick him out of the office because he was trying to come straight into work instead of in processing and get stuff. I was like, I don't know. But then I found out that he saved, he was a whiskey. He saved a couple people's lives, man. He was a Purple Heart recipient. And as a Purple Heart recipient, there's things that come along with that. Look, we got a guest in the building, man. Who we got in the building? What's up?
Hey! How's it going, Sergeant Major?
What's going on with you? We can't hear you.
I think you're muted.
Let me see. Is he muted? Yeah, you're muted. Unmute your phone, your mic. I can't unmute you. It's your mic. Go out and come back in.
I might do it.
But yeah, so he was really, really good dude, man. Never ever, and as a senior, I should have looked at his ERB a little bit, more to see that Purple Heart on there. And it wasn't until the commander said something about it, and I was like, shut up. Unmute your mic has the mute button still on. It won't let you? It might be the headphones. Can you hear us?
You can hear us.
You can hear us? Okay, let's see. And I know it's not. Let's see. Ooh, what was that? What did I just do? Huh. Nope, it's not that. I can't do it. What the heck? Try that. I see you just took the headphones out. That sucks.
Maybe calling?
Oh yeah, you can. Hey, call the number instead of doing the thing. Call that number. Okay. Oh, what awesome surprise guest! Yeah, it is an awesome surprise guest. But this, I might have to try your way that you said we should do it, Jewel Junkie, and not just use your Zoom. I think Zoom may be a little more user friendly. It may be. Who knows? We'll try it out the next time. But yeah, so that dude never ever, man. He never. I'm not gonna say his name. I think he's still serving, but he never ever. Flaunted it. He never. Matter of fact, he was like, "Senior, please don't make me put that on." I'm like, dude, it should be on your uniform. He was like, I don't like the attention that I get. He said, I need a tech guy. Where you at? Where you at, Stockton OG? I know I need a tech guy. Mike Gonzo, what's up, old man? What's up, Gonzo? Man, we got everybody popping on today, man. That's what I'm talking about. Matt, we got a crew with us. We just don't have our regular crew with us.
It's a good day to be back.
It is a good day to be back, man. What is going on, everybody, man? It is packed up in the room today. What I got going on Saturday? It's coffee, crepes, leadership, and pancakes, and we just talking about janitors' lessons in leadership, man. All right, so back to it, crew love. Yes, right. That's right, Jewel Junkie. So they finally found out that Mr. Crawford is Private Crawford. Can you hear us now? Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey,
what's going on, Sergeant Major?
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Okay. How are you?
I am well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very good. Doing very good.
I can see that. I can hear it.
So we're talking about a janitor's 10 lessons in leadership. So I'm sure you read the story before. Mr. Crawford, private in World War II.
I have not read that, but it sounds interesting.
Okay, I haven't finished yet. So once we get to the 10 lessons, then it'll be really good to get your opinion as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, Gonzo said he took a break from cutting this grass, catching up with projects. Man, that's awesome. Hey, man, let me know if you got some. I might need some woodwork done. I haven't seen the updated stuff yet, so when you get a chance to, if y'all got them posted, just let me know, okay? All right, so those who had before left a mess for the janitor to clean up started taking it upon themselves to put things in order. Oh, let me go back. Let's see. All right, whoever after that brief exchange, things were never again the same around our squadron. However, word spread like wildfire among the cadets that we had a hero in our midst, Mr. Crawford. Our janitor had won the medal. Cadets who had once passed by Bill with hardly a glance now greeted him with a smile and a respectful "Good morning, Mr. Crawford." Those who had before left a mess on the for the janitor to clean up started taking it upon themselves to put things in order. Most cadets routinely stopped to talk to Bill throughout the day and even began inviting him to our formal squadron functions. He'd show up dressed in a conservative dark suit and quietly talk to those who approached him. The only sign of his heroics being a simple blue star-spangled lapel pin. Almost overnight, Bill went from being a simple fixture in our squadron to one of our teammates. What you got here, Matt?
I just made the comment there. It's sad that it took the young officers seeing the janitor as a hero to start cleaning up after themselves.
Right.
Let alone treating him, like another human being. Obviously, they had said that they were being, polite, but hurried. Right. Everybody understands that. But, we encounter so many people on a daily basis who we can affect with our attitude.
Right.
And sometimes people need and deserve more than just a cursory, good morning. Take the time, if you have the time, take the time and listen to people, talk to people, start a conversation. There's no reason not to find out who is around you and who we work with.
That's right. You never know, man. That was, what do you think about that, Sergeant Major?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm here. You guys are spot on, but, yeah, there's, you've heard the saying, the great leaders treat the janitor the same as they do as the CEO, right?
That's right.
And I think for them, tidying up, get an appreciation of what the janitor goes through every day, is really helpful for everybody. You have to think about other people's perspectives, not just on top of rather. Everyone has a story. Everyone has something going on. And like Matt said, how you treat them, you could have an impact on people's day, even if it's, a day or a week, whatever it is. Positive impacts build up, right? They're cumulative. So builds up, and it changes people's attitudes.
That's right. That's good.
Absolutely.
So on top of them changing, Mr. Crawford changed too. But you have to look closely to notice the difference. After that fall day in 1976, he seemed to move with more purpose. His shoulders didn't seem to be as stooped. He met our greetings with a direct gaze and a stronger good morning in return. He flashed his crooked smile more often. What you say about that, Matt?
He regained his place there as someone who mattered. We all have our place as we go through life and find new places and find new levels of, us mattering in that organization. Personally, I've found that the further I am away from a line unit, the more I notice my own sense of self having to be reevaluated. My confidence decreasing because what I know, where I matter, the people who know me and know what I can and do right. Genuinely do on a daily basis, it changes how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
And again, not defining yourself solely by this one part of your life, but some parts of our lives have a huge impact on our sense of self.
Yeah.
And you can see not mattering, just being the janitor and being treated like just the janitor
right.
had hit his self-confidence pretty hard by the sound of it. For him to bounce back and smile more and be more confident in the way that he spoke to people and approached people. It's important to be able to reevaluate who you are and the fact that we do matter and what we do matters, regardless of whether it's what we're used to or not.
Yeah, that's good. Stockton OG said, "You never know who someone could be, but regardless, you should treat them all with the same level of respect. I'm guilty of doing it in the past." Yep, that's good. I'm glad you recognize that, Stockton OG. All right, so the squadron gleaned as always, but everyone now seemed to notice it more. Bill even got to know most of us by our first names, something that didn't happen often in the academy. While no one ever formally acknowledged the change, I think we became Bill's cadets and his squadron. As often happens in life, events sweep us away from those in our past. The last time I saw Bill was on graduation day, June 1977. As I walked out of the squadron for the last time, he shook my hand and simply said, "Good luck, young man." With that, I embarked on a career that has been truly lucky and blessed. Mr. Crawford continued to work at the academy and eventually retired in his native Colorado, where he resides today. one of 4 Medal of Honor winners living in a small town. That's crazy. 4 of them in one small town. A wise person once said, "It's not life that's important, but those you meet along the way that makes the difference." Bill was one who made a difference for me. While I haven't seen Mr. Crawford in over 20 years, he'd probably be surprised to know I think of him often. Bill Crawford, our janitor, taught me many valuable, unforgettable leadership lessons. Here are 10 I'd like to share with you. Our 10 lessons. Y'all ready? Be cautious of labels. Cautious of labels. Oh.
Sorry, do you want to say something?
Yeah, hey, I want to go back to Matt's point, right? So I think what you talk about transformational leadership, and not even knowing it, I think the cadets kind of had that impact. And you talk about how the janitor kind of, stood a little taller, felt a little better. And it all goes back to a person's worth. Everyone's worth something. So another janitor story that I heard is, someone went to NASA and they ran into the janitor and they asked him, "What do you do around here?" He says, "We put a man on the moon." Right? That's the janitor.
Yep.
Right? So it doesn't matter who you are in an organization. Everything you do leads to the vision and mission of that organization.
That's good.
And then the great leaders, like what these cadets did, and probably just try to be good cadets, good humans. They gave that purpose to the janitor. So I think that's important for everyone to understand. Everybody in the organization has worth towards the end state, the goals of that organization.
That's good. I like that.
That's all I got on that.
We put a man.
Very good point.
We put a man on the moon. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody take ownership of the mission statement, right? That's good.
Exactly.
All right. So the first lesson that he learned was be cautious of labels. Labels you place on people may define your relationship to them and bound their potential. Sadly, and for a long time, we labeled Bill as just a janitor, but he was so much more. Therefore, be cautious of a leader who callously says, "Hey, he's just an airman. Hey, he's just a private. Hey, he's just a junior." Likewise, don't tolerate the old one who says, "I can't do that. I'm just a lieutenant." What y'all think about that?
Yeah, so again, goes back to what I was saying about everyone has a worth. There's no such thing as just a private or, just a lieutenant.
Even though we do pick at those lieutenants about getting lost.
And other things. No, I've been called out for doing that to myself, honestly. Working in the hospital, I get asked questions like, "Well, I'm just a whiskey." No, you're not just a whiskey. You are a part of this hospital. You're a part of the team, and you're a medic, so you have a view here. Yeah, that's all right. And it takes a few times to really build you up. But the more we continue to do that as leadership, as part of leadership, the more we can bring everybody into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, when you said it, reminded me of old Corporal. Oh, I said Corporal Sergeant Mustache, who he used to always say, "I'm just the specialist. I'm just the specialist." He said, "Tim's," Stockton OG says, "Tim's, every member plays a part." That's right, and that's why Tim's is important. And I used to get onto those guys about saying I'm just a specialist, because I know when I came in, the specialists were the ones who actually got me to where I needed to be at. They trained me. If I had to go see the sergeant, man, it was a bad day at Black Rock. My specialists were the truth. Those guys really, really were spot on, and you had to respect those guys. They held it down. Inspector Nacho says he was about to say that. I know you was about to say that. You should have been thinking about it as much as I got on your butt for saying I'm just a specialist. All right, so next point was everyone deserves respect. Because we hung the janitor label on Mr. Crawford, we often wrongly treated him with less respect than others around us. He deserved much more, And not just because he was a Medal of Honor winner, Bill deserved respect because he was a janitor, walked among us, and was part of our team. This goes into what you was talking about, Sergeant Major. And Matt, you got a note right here.
I actually shared a video with you guys earlier this week, and it was from Ted Lasso, which is a great TV show. If you guys haven't watched it, I really love it. But it's the be curious, not judgmental. It's the darts scene where they bet him, that he can't do whatever. I forget what exactly the bet is, but they were very judgmental about him as a person. They put a label on him, and he said, if you'd been more curious, you might ask questions like, have you played a lot of darts? And he continues to just throw these just out of this world accurate dart shots to win this bet. And it doesn't just apply, obviously, to darts and bar games. Be curious, not judgmental. We put those labels on people. You don't know what they've done before. I had one of my junior specialists come up to me when I was a platoon sergeant and say, hey, I'd like to do the safety stuff. Well, all right, what makes you interested in the safety stuff? Well, specifically the fire stuff, because I was a firefighter before I joined, and I have this experience, and I've done this, and I've done that. I was like, well, hey, there you go. Information that I would not have known if I just said, no, I want to give it to a sergeant. No, I want to give this needs to be a staff sergeant that does this. You have that life experience already. You have the interest, the passion to do this and to do it right and to teach us things. I've never been a firefighter. So let's learn.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Inspector Natras, I used to say I'm just a good inspector when people ask what I did in the military, but I have changed from saying that. And Stockton OG is guilty of doing the same thing. I'm glad you guys have changed the error of your ways. All right, so courtesy makes a difference is the next point. Be courteous to all around you, regardless of rank or position. Military customs as well as common courtesies help bond a team. When our daily words to Mr. Crawford turn from perfunctory hellos to heartfelt greetings, his demeanor and personality outwardly changed. It made a difference for all of us. What do you guys got to say about that? I think courtesy, man. I've been saying this a lot, and it's been just sticking with me a lot. Is that you never know the battles that people are facing, and sometimes that small gesture of a smile, like a sincere hello or a smile, greeting, good morning, whatever, it can make the difference for people, So, I think that courtesy definitely makes a difference, especially when you first get there in the morning. If you're not a morning person like me, and we got to be there early in the morning to do PT, sometimes those little small courtesies, it make that transition to waking up before your whatever routine is fully done. It make that go by, man. It does, I may be saying bah humbug inside, but when somebody smile and be like, it's a great day, I'll be like, man, it is a great day. Every day, above ground is a great day. So you're absolutely right. Thank you for that reminder. What y'all got on courtesy? Anything?
Yeah, I think it goes, like you talked about, customs and courtesies, having a shared, kind of a common approach to the organization. Because when you get large organizations like the one we're in, right, you get people from all over the place, but we share common values, common customs and courtesies that everyone needs to understand. There's a purpose for all that. There's a reason why we have certain standards, customs, and courtesies. And then going back to your point too, it's like I said, everyone has something going on in their life, right? And we talk about dignity and respect all the time. Well, that's one of our common values, respect for everybody. And that's so important. And you're so right, because in our profession and in many organizations, private or government, everyone, again, is a valued member of the team. Everyone has worth to our goals, whatever they are for that organization. And we want them to be, to feel valued. We want them to feel purpose. And obviously a big thing to that is knowing the why, right? Why are you here?
Right.
What is your purpose? And we don't often communicate that enough, especially down to the junior level. But again, that goes a long way, having customs and courtesy, just basic human decency, because everybody, it's one of the human needs, wants to feel valued, wants to feel wanted within an organization, and deserves to be. So I think that's a great point.
Absolutely. Sorry, Major. And I'm going to give you kudos on that one, actually. If you'll recall, starting the NCO call back in Germany there, giving people that sense of pride in themselves and the unit they belong to by saying, hey, we are all non-commissioned officers here from the corporal to the command sergeant major, and we're all going to sit here, and that's the mug. We're all going to sit here and we're going to talk about stuff as peers. You can approach me, I can approach you, and ask anything we want and build those relationships. And that really gave people that sense of belonging, that sense of value. So that was awesome.
That's right. Look, you know how many of those juniors were ecstatic about being able to, stand there with all of their seniors and seniors and be able to turn around and ask every last one of them questions that they've been wanting to, just like, what about this? What about that? They were talking about that for a long time. So that was really good. Yes, I agree, Matt.
Yeah, again, that's another important thing that seniors need to understand, and it took me a while in my career, is that people want to know your story.
That's right.
If we don't get too far removed from when we were juniors, we wanted to know how the sergeant major got to where he is, what he's been through, what some experiences that, and even personal stuff. I try to be an open book now. I'll talk to people about marriage, about kids, about my career, and just let them know, man, we all go through certain things, and this is, a way.
That's right.
Yep.
Yes. So, take time to know your people. It's a perfect segue. Life in the military is hectic. It absolutely is. But that's no excuse for not knowing the people you work with and for. For years, a hero walked among us in the academy, and we never knew it. Who are the heroes that walk in your midst? You got a note on this one, Matt. What you got?
It's basically what the Sergeant Major just said. Communicate with your team. Encourage them to bring their stories and experiences to the table. Great teams are great because of the people on the team believing in the team. I do a lot of teaching, which I absolutely love. And I've had people come up to me just in the last year, providers now that are working for the field hospital that I'm in. And they'll say, you look familiar. Did you teach MRT at one point? Yeah, I did. I think I remember some classes you gave back in 2012. We loved the way that you shared your personal stories and didn't make it just, this is what's on the slide. Right. It was, this is something that I've experienced before. People take, they take away from that. There's value in, like you said, Sergeant Major, there's value in sharing what you've done. Even if it's not a recipe for success, it might be a recipe for disaster. Don't do this. I've done this. Right. Don't go down this road. Or it might just be a suggestion, a new tack for them to take. Hey, I've never thought of it from that angle before.
That's right.
But personally connecting with people is key.
Man, Inspector Nacho says it takes one good leader to change the way you see and feel about the Army or the military in general, and it makes you want to be a great leader too. That is spot on, Inspector Nacho. Sergeant Mustache, you are right. Absolutely, I agree. It only takes one good leader to change the way you see things. And unfortunately, it takes some people a while to get that one good leader. You can learn from bad leaders, but sometimes you do learn the wrong things from those bad leaders, and those in that mirror effect that we talked about a couple shows back. They'll start reflecting that instead of learning from it. So that's why it's important for all of us to be good leaders, and for our seniors to make sure that we are doing that developmental type stuff so that we can continue showing, look, what you said, Matt, This didn't work. Don't do it like this. Try this. Try these things. And then we'll come back and sit down. Because there's different styles of leadership for a reason, right? We all gravitate to one specific one or maybe a couple initially, and then you have that mentor that'll teach you, okay, that's not going to work for you in all situations. I need to show you how to utilize these other tools that you have available, and therefore you begin to, widen their scope of leading. So very important to know your people and for them to know you. Anyone could be a hero. Facts, especially if you're in the world of medics, right? Look, when we were out in Bulgaria, I sent my NBC guy out just for, the wet gap crossing deal that they did, and they had that huge incident that happened. He was an NBC private. He out there pulling medical, he helping with the medics, so you never know who could be a hero. It could be you. And that's why the basic stuff that they give us, first aid, CLS, all these different training that they give us. And I like it about the military. And I say military because I'm sure everybody else is set up the same way. Army's a machine. It's designed a certain way to function, right? We create trained responses. It's not natural for someone to run towards the battle. But as medical personnel, when our battle buddies go down, we're trained to go, now they're telling us, hey, look, we got to make sure you check that they didn't just use them as a I won't say a decoy, but something to get you to come out there, right? Shoot one. I won't talk about that. I don't want to get put in Facebook or whoever jail talking about violence. But they'll maim somebody and then they'll use them as not a scapegoat. What's the word I'm looking for, Matt? As a means to get more people to come out. Does that make sense?
Like a drawing factor. Yeah.
To draw you in. You hear your battle buddy out there. They know that we're trained to take care of our people.
Yep.
And you see them go down. Sometimes they hit them like that just enough to keep them in one spot. Bait, yes, good. Thanks, Dr. NOG. They use them as bait, and then we it's been trained. That trained response is we go out, we run towards it, right? But we have to learn now to don't do that right off the bat. Hey, can you move? Can you lay down cover fire? Okay, play like you are not alive, right? But then they might hit them again. So anyways, that's what I do. I really like about the military is that we do create trained responses, and those things really do help. For the medical people, you never know who's going to be that hero. As a when I was in Whiskey Land, we always would get the reports back saying that these soldiers that just graduated from AIT went straight to deployment areas and they're heroes. Thank you. You guys trained them up very well. So you never know, man. You never know who can be a hero. Let's see. Miss Crawford certainly didn't fit anyone's standard definition of a hero. He was a private. That's all they knew. He was private, served in World War II. Moreover, he was just a private on the day he won his medal. Don't sell your people short, for any one of them may be the hero who rises to the occasion when duty calls. Audie Murphy. I'm gonna leave it at that. Inspector Nacho. He's about to challenge the board. Everyone. He's challenging the board. Nice. Get it. Don't sell your people short, for any of them may be a hero who rises to the occasion when duty calls. On the other hand, it's easy to turn to your proven performers when the chips are down. But don't ignore the rest of the team. Today's rookies could and should be tomorrow's superstars. That's right. Give them the same opportunity to shine. Train them the same way. Sometimes when you just go to your superstars, you're doing performance punishment. We talked about that too. And it's good if you're going to say, okay, I need you to link up with these, put them people together so that we can strengthen our weak areas and our, together. And then everybody is growing. So you strong here, you weak here, you're strong here, you weak here. Y'all two work together on this task. And then you make everybody, you're making the team better. What's y'all thoughts on that?
Yeah, let me go back to the hero part too, right? When we think of heroes, we think of, action, but there's also heroes of compassion. You can become someone's hero, getting them through a tough time in their life or anything like that, and they just become. And the great thing about, or a good side effect for leaders when you help someone out, you get an advocate within the organization. But you have to be consistent, and it's easy when you're authentic and honest with people. Consistency comes along as long as you're always being yourself. But to that point, you have to really care about people to be successful as a leader. Like genuinely care, and most people do.
Yeah.
Not just care about the mission, but you care about the people who are essential. Again, we go back to everyone has a value, has worth. So you should have and take care of those people. So don't think you have to run into a burning building to say to be a hero. It's a different type of hero, but you can be a hero to someone just by empathy, sympathy, compassion, and just authenticity and being genuine.
That's good. It's so true. I mean, you got teachers, counselors that are absolutely heroes, right? So That's good. I like that. You got anything on that, Matt?
Going back to the performance punishment thing, always going back to your go-to person. We all have those, right? We all have the person that like they said, when the chips are down, you go to that person right there. If you continue to do that, yes, it can be a form of performance punishment, but that's the best way, honestly, in my opinion, to grow them into the next level of responsibility is not only to give them that person to say, hey, you're good at this, you're my go-to, teach this person this. Give them a few people and say, hey, I'm going to give you this task and you're going to work with those 3 over there, knock it out.
Yeah,
good. The more autonomy you give them, the more trust you show in them, the less it is you're my go-to, you're the easy button for me, and more I'm developing you and you're actually being developed. Not just me as a leader saying, hey, I feel good about this because I'm developing them, but actually allowing them to develop themselves and others. Right. You get to see a whole new side of them as well. But again, don't just go to that one person, clearly.
That's good. I like that angle. I think we talked about that in another show. Leaders should be humble. Leaders should be humble. I think this is in some of our Army policies now. Most modern day heroes and some leaders are anything but humble, especially if you calibrate your hero meter. On today's athletic fields, end zone celebrations and
aggrandizement.
Yes, are what we've come to expect from sports greats. Not Mr. Crawford. He was too busy working to celebrate his past heroics. Leaders would be well served to do the same. You highlighted on this earlier, Matt, but you got a note. What you got?
Same thing I said before, right? So not to the point of downplaying or forgetting about our great achievements, but again, not letting that thing or that one aspect of life be the only part of our personality or our the way we present ourselves.
Yeah. And another point, angles, how in that right arm night, the NCO gatherings that Sergeant Major and them, they started back up. It is humbling when you can be that open book and say, ask away. Because we came up during the era of, well, I did, and I'm sure you guys heard it at least once or twice. Sergeant Major, I'm sure you heard it. You had to have at least one Article 15 to make it to Sergeant Major. And so some of those individuals that experience that, they can really, I don't know, some people don't want to be open book. They don't want you to know that they had issues coming up. But when you know that, okay, my leader got a counseling statement? What the heck? wow, we can make it back from this, you know, or you not gonna make it back from this. This is something that is an absolute no. Stockton OG, do you think that it is also possible to underutilize an individual because you focus too much on performance punishment? What do y'all think about that? Do you think that it is also possible to underutilize an individual because you focus too much on performance punishment? I think that it's possible. It's kind of like, I'll give you an example. So during the transition from Sharp falling under the EO program and it going to the actual Sharp victim advocacy is standing on its own, the shift focused to where that was like the main focus of the Army. It was like, oh yeah, you know, so it was like we was pressing so much so to where leaders getting sharped was a thing. Like the soldiers were starting to utilize Sharp as a weapon instead of the program as a way to actually make the military better. You know, like if you report me, I'm gonna sharp you. It's like, how does that work? And then soldiers started telling us this stuff, and then leaders were actually becoming afraid to discipline because they were afraid of being sharped. Whereas if you're doing the right thing, right? If you're doing the right thing, you're saying and you're living it, right? It's not fake. You're doing the right things. I believe that you're gonna be okay. Some people are gonna be those type of people that, you know, they're just out. Like I had a situation with a soldier who she had a history of when she couldn't get her way. If it was the same sex, she filed EO. If it was the opposite sex, she filed Sharp. You know, that's just people that's out there that's like that. When they feel like they can't get you to do what they want you to do, they're going to scream wolf, right? And so back to your point of can you don't focus so much on not, you know, I'm not gonna do performance punishment on this person, but look at how, like Matt was saying, okay, instead of me trying to focus so much on one person, let me do what leaders do. We're supposed to develop, we're supposed to grow. So if I'm doing this, yes, I can use this person, but let me use this person to utilize their skills and their gifts to grow other people. Because I might not be a great writer. I might not be a great writer, but Matt might be a great writer. So I'm gonna say, hey, look, Matt, let me fall under you, or let me push these two people to you, and on this project, and can you show them how to, you know, write a policy letter? Now, I don't want you to write the policy letter. I need you to show them the process that you use, right? And therefore, I'm not performance punishing. I'm saying, okay, Matt, can you utilize your skills to grow these people? And then he might say, hey, Tay, I need, you know, some people that they want to learn how to fight, whatever. You know, don't do it for them. You show them how you do this class. And so now we're utilizing each other's strengths, and then we're able to grow other people to be more like all of us, take all of our strengths and package it into all of our soldiers. So now they have all of those strengths, and then they can continue to do the same thing. Did that answer your question? Hopefully. I don't know. Did I make them confused, Matt?
No, I think that was really good. And, you know, my take on that one would be something we've talked about an awful lot. And I've experienced it a few times, and it's been really wonderful. But with teams, whether it be with seniors or juniors or even peers, candor. You know, if you feel like you're being overutilized, if you feel like you're the only one that someone's going to, have the candor to step up and say, I really feel like I'm the easy button here, right? I really feel like I'm the one that's being tagged for all of these things. And I think, you know, and just like with everything in the military, you come with a complaint or concern, try and come with some sort of a solution. Right. I really think it would be better if you gave me a few people to work with, or if maybe, hey, can you shift your focus over here so I can work on what I need to work on? Yeah. Yeah, but that candor in that conversation, that trust between a leader and subordinate or peers to just say, hey, not today, or hey, this is too much.
Right.
I think that would solve a lot of that potential for performance punishment, because we've got that clear communication.
That's good. OG said, use your assets to grow others. Absolutely. Inspector Nacho says, speaking of learning to fight, when you gonna come have a few rounds with me? I need a nap. This dude is funny, man. Hey, look, that's awesome. I needed that laugh, Inspector Nacho. You are awesome. Life won't always hand you what you think you deserve. So, yeah. When we in the military work hard, and dang it, we deserve recognition, right? Respect me, or they say, thank me for my service. However, sometimes you just have to persevere, and even when accolades don't come your way. Perhaps you weren't nominated for Junior Officer or Airman of the Quarter as you thought you should. Don't let that stop you. Don't pursue glory, pursue excellence. Yes, Private Bill Crawford didn't pursue glory. He did his duty and then swept floors for a living. I love this one. I love it. I love it. I love it. I always try to tell my soldiers, like, look, man, you know, me pressing you into greatness, whatever that definition for you is, you getting there is all I need. I don't need you to sit up there and be like, oh, you know, Sergeant Gifford was the reason or whatever. No, when it's time for our soldiers to shine, leaders like us sit in the back and just, like, you know, like proud parents, like, yeah, look at them. You worked hard for it. I know you was mad I was pressing you. I had you in there studying all day, but look at them now. Look at them. You know, you don't need that acknowledgement, that shout out. When it happens, it's great, it's wonderful, but you don't do it. We don't do that to get that. We do it to see leaders grow and leaders come up, you know. And I appreciate leaders, you know, senior leaders that I had that did that. Sorry, Major. Yeah, man.
Hey, you know what? It takes pressure to make a diamond, right?
That's right.
And it's gonna bring out the true soldier, or it's gonna make dust, right? And then they kind of fall off to the wayside. But we have to put folks in opportunities to excel. Sometimes in uncomfortable areas. Sometimes in missions, tasks that they're gonna fail. But it's all about how you coach and mentor after they fail. Again, bringing work. Now, going back to, if I understand the question correctly, underutilizing because your performance punishments. I think we have to be fire and forget kind of leaders, right? When someone needs to be reprimanded, you know, you fire and forget. Fire, do the corrective action, whatever that is, and then throw them right back in the pool, treat them all again like everybody else. They did the crime. They took their punishment, and now they're right back to where they were previously.
That's good.
And we have to get into that mentality that remove any stigma from a soldier who gets in trouble, because we're going to tell a young soldier who gets on 15, hey, you can recover from this, you can recover from this, but we play a big part of that.
That's right.
Yep. Absolutely, right. Completely agree with that.
You can't define a soldier's 3, 4, 10-year career on one incident, right? Mm-hmm. It's the collection of work that they've done, and if it's predominantly positive, good work for the organization, that's a good soldier who made a mistake, and that's okay.
That's right. Look, I lost a lot of my victim advocates when I was in 232 because they had it was like a checklist that they came out with after the fact. So they made it through the process. They made it through the sharp class and everything, and all they needed was the commander's interview. Well, before the commander would interview, they said, hold up, we got to go down this checklist. So they went down the checklist, and I lost almost half of my victim advocates. Now, for those that don't know, 232 is the largest training battalion in the Army. The largest. It's the second largest MOS in the Army. Second to infantry, right? So, now, we were having large issues in the largest training battalion, and they cut us, all of the victim advocates that we had, during the time frame where this thing was just going bananas. I mean, I would get a call to do a sharp brief for the new soldiers that come in. So that was up the hill in the Starship buildings. Before I could walk back down to the battalion, I would get a phone call because some soldier done sharp somebody already. That's how bad it was at that time. It was just crazy. And man, yeah. Stockton OG, what's the betting line for that fight? I know who I'm taking. Laugh out loud. Big Sarge all day. I appreciate that vote of confidence. But you know,
yeah, they got your back.
Yeah, he might give me some. He's a taekwondo guy. So he may get me with the kicks. I don't know. But if we're just talking ground fighting, he's gonna get a free nap all day. Free naps all around. All right, so no job is beneath a leader. Yes, and I believe that we really embodied this. All the leaders that I had, that I worked with and for, in 421, at least majority. No job is beneath a leader. If Bill Crawford, a Medal of Honor winner, could clean latrines and smile, is there a job beneath your dignity? Think about it. I'm gonna tell you, when we were out there at for EF&B at Grafenveer, and the special group that we were next with sharing the latrine said that our guys pooped in the shower. I was like, come on, man. I know that our guys didn't do that. I know. And you know the commander, when he cleaned that crap up, I was like, why did you do that? But he went and did it. He said, I'm not about to have my soldiers go in there and do that. I know that we didn't do it, but I'm not about to have my soldiers going in there to do that. Man, that made me even more upset about it, because I was like, I know we did. I know our guys didn't do it. One, it was only cadre that was allowed to go in there, and they didn't really want us in there, but they wanted to utilize our assets, but they didn't want to share the latrine with us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was that was one of those things where I was like, man, that's you know, the leader standing up in the front like, no, I'm not beneath this, and I'm not about to have my guys stoop to this. So, you know, that's just an example, and there's so many more in that unit during that time frame. I just love it. Y'all got anything on this one?
I've got the little note there. Don't yell at your soldiers about how dirty the bathroom is, or how the sidewalk needs to be shoveled, or the grass needs to be mowed. Grab cleaning rag, pick up a shovel, gas up the mower, and then tell them to follow you. I can tell you this for sure. Nobody hates weeds in the rocks around my AO more than I do. And nobody pulls more weeds in my AO than I do. Not because the soldiers aren't doing it, but because I see it when I walk by it, and I'll take a couple of seconds and do it. And I've found that has made a significant impact on the people around me. I was ages and ages ago, I was walking along with the battalion command sergeant major, and we happened to pass the CG at Fort Drum. And as we're walking past him, we're rendering salutes, and he rendered his salute, stooped down real quick and grabbed a piece of trash and put it in his pocket and said, "Have a nice day, gentlemen." And I mean, my first thought was I failed because I didn't run up and grab that piece of trash right away. And my second thought was, okay, the major general just reached down and picked up a piece of trash off the ground and put it in his pocket like he was a janitor, and it had a profound impact on me as a young junior enlisted. It was pretty awesome. Yeah. And I've tried to keep that in my mind, you know, and relayed that as much as possible to people through my own actions. Sometimes you're too busy to do it, you know. Sometimes you say, hey, you got to go shovel the sidewalk, I don't have time for this. Yeah. It's got to get done. This is not my day to do it, right? But plenty of times you'll only have to do it one or two times before people realize that you care. right? Or even just once a month, you make it your day to show up a little bit early and be the one to shovel the sidewalk. So staff duty doesn't have to get out there and do it, or, CQ, or even if we don't have those, just around your work area. I think it's important to show that as a leader.
That's good. Again.
Yeah, you know what, Matt? I think that that had an impact on you because of the way that CG handled it. He didn't say, "Hey, you guys just gonna walk past that trash."
Right.
Exactly.
He demonstrated it, and that does way much more than being told, "Hey, don't just walk past a piece of trash, pick it up."
Yep.
Just demonstrating it and not saying anything.
Yep. Exactly.
Without saying a word, he taught you a lesson.
I love that kind of leadership.
Going back to, is anything beneath you? I think senior leaders often, well, yeah, I've done that. I used to do that. Well, soldiers want to know if you can still do it. Soldiers want to know if you still will do it alongside them, right? Anytime I go to a PT test, I'm the first one. I'm in the front of the line. I go to the range. I'll go to the range with them. I'm the first one on the firing line. And not that I'm not building myself up. I just think that it's so important. Don't say a word. Just get out there and do it. Get in front of them. Let them see you there.
Yep. I got to be the near heat stroke earlier this week when we were out at the Seaburn range, and they said, "Hey, who wants to demonstrate putting on full mop gear?" All right, let's do this. I don't love it, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, man. And it's funny that you guys say that, because once you do it, a lot of times the soldiers will be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" When you're always doing that, your soldiers will start saying, "Stop. Hey, what are you doing? We got this. Maybe we're not moving fast enough.
Yep.
Why are you, and it's good because you're training them, but you're not doing it to train them. You're doing it because I lead from the front. I'm not going to tell you to do something that I haven't done and that I won't do and that I won't continue doing." And so I love that. That was a great point. No job is beneath the leader. All right, pursue excellence. No matter what task life hands you, do it well. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "If life makes you a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper you can be." Mr. Crawford modeled that philosophy and helped make our dormitory area a home. It's one of my mottos, man. Do everything in the spirit of excellence. It is what it is. I don't know how else you can put that. That's be the best that you can. What is the saying? I think I heard it in one of our leadership meetings, was bloom where you're planted.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And you can't say
I like that.
You can't say bloom
without
thinking about, a flower, you know what I mean? And I don't care how macho and masculine you are. You see a flower, most people are like, man, take a time to appreciate that, the essence of the flower. Bloom where you're planted. So wherever you are, be the best that you can be. Shine.
And you can break that down even further, Tay. I'll tell you, blooming is not about becoming a flower or just becoming a flower or just, becoming pretty. It's full potential. Did you grow to your full potential?
That's good.
And I like that too, about approach everything with excellence. That's why I try to say it's not a detail or it's not a task, it's an opportunity. I'm giving you an opportunity, to whatever it is. But street sweeping, I need you to go sweep the streets. The end result should, impress people.
Yeah. That's good.
Yep.
You switch, all you do is switch the way you're looking at and the way you see it, and it can totally change the way that others react to it, right?
Absolutely.
Because they used to call it flag details, and then they switched it to flag honors.
Mm-hmm. One word. changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's, dealing with problems. Well, I've got a couple of challenges on my plate right now. Oh, look at that. Okay. Hey, I'm tackling this challenge. It changes your perspective. It changes everyone else's perspective when you're talking to the team too.
Yeah. Words have meaning. Words have meaning.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He says, he's old. Gotta remember that. This is Inspector Nacho. Let's get Master Sergeant Cruz in on this. Stockton OG, old and a Georgia fan. That's tough. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all betting your side bets. You know what? I got my mats downstairs. You bring your butt on down here to Fort Gordon for a mission, and I'll pull them out for you. We'll go live. How about that? All right, last one. Number 10. Life is a leadership laboratory. Oh, man. All too often, we look to some school or PME class to teach us about leadership when, in fact, life is a leadership laboratory. Those you meet every day will teach you enduring lessons if you just take time to stop, look, and listen. I spent 4 years at the Air Force Academy, took dozens of classes, read hundreds of books, and met thousands of great people. I gleaned leadership skills from all of them, but one of the people I remember most is Mr. Bill Crawford and the lessons he unknowingly taught. Don't miss your opportunity to learn. Bill Crawford was a janitor. However, he was a teacher, a friend, a role model, and one great American hero. Thanks, Mr. Crawford, for some valuable leadership lessons. Look, this is life. We just said it. You change the way you look at it and the way you viewing things, and you can learn so much more and be more productive at it. Sergeant Major, when you hit me up and you told me that the private told y'all had to come clean your weapons, I said, "Oh God, oh my God." He said, your private just called the battalion command team and told them they need to come and clean their weapons. Oh my God. And
they were,
yeah. Oh, that was crazy. But he was just doing what he was told, what he thought he was told to do. Everybody will clean their weapons today. That's everybody, else. They'll get to it when they get to it. But, it's a leadership lesson. Like, hey, look, man, and what else? What was the other one, Sergeant Major, that this young soldier, I learned communication. I had to be more specific with my communication with this young man. Well, he did something else that we messed with him about for like ever.
Oh, I don't remember. I try to forget those.
It was so many of them. Shout out to
But I'll tell you what, on number 10, I think number 10 should be number 1.
Yeah.
Life is a leadership laboratory.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. Every day there's an opportunity to learn something. And going back to the janitor story, if we dismiss the janitor or we dismiss the soldier, who, again, to Matt's point, might have a background in something, a challenge we're facing, they have great ideas. They have great insight. Sometimes, the Army's full of talent, but you'll never find it if you don't allow yourself to, or allow others to shine. So that's a great point, and everything contributes to who you are as a leader at your organization. Your family, your friends. I like to tell people all the time, Sergeant Major is not who I am. That's what I do. Who I am is, a father, a husband, all that stuff that contributes and shapes how I approach my job and what I do.
That's good. Look, Sergeant Major, it's one of my old soldiers said, "Oh, this is the Sergeant Major from that story. I remember you telling this story in the office." Yes. This is that Sergeant Major. Let's say my Sergeant Major. When you did what you're supposed to do, your soldiers take ownership of you. And that's I have some leaders that are like that, and this is one of my Sergeant Major. So yes, this is him. So that's it, man. What do y'all think, Mr. Bill Crawford, the janitor? Did he teach us some good leadership lessons or what?
Absolutely. And, to the Sergeant Major's point, that transformational leadership doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what your role is. Leaders set the tone. And if the janitor is a leader that sets those tone for those juniors to lead from, so be it. That is the leader they needed.
That's right. Wherever you can get that source of inspiration from, man, if you take that opportunity that every day give you, you will learn something. Just got to be humble enough sometimes, right? Sometimes, and this is another point. You can learn up and down, right?
Absolutely.
When you're humble enough to say that I don't know everything, you open your hand and your mind, and you're able to receive as well as give. So, you got any closing remarks, Sergeant Major?
I do. I'm going to add on to what you said there at the end. You know what's a very powerful word? My. M-Y. My. Someone mentioned this is my squad. Tim's. You mentioned taking ownership. You want, as a leader, as a boss, whatever, you want your people to call you their sergeant major, their boss.
That's right.
You don't want the soldier talking to another soldier, oh, that's the sergeant major. You want them to say, that's my sergeant major.
Yeah.
Right? They're proud of it. They're proud of the organization, hopefully. They're proud that you are their sergeant major, their first sergeant, their platoon sergeant. That's powerful. Again, going back to words matter. There's a big difference when someone says, oh, that's the first sergeant. But when they tell someone that's my sergeant major, there's pride in that. It takes pride to say that.
That's right.
Because you're tying yourself to that person in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very important. First time I've heard these 10 life lessons, leadership lessons from the janitor. So I need you to send me that. I think it's incredibly powerful. And what's great about it, it's almost like a refresher. This is things that we all know.
Yeah.
Or knew. But sometimes you got to get re-blued, right? Kind of get back into it. And this kind of does that. And it's something I think everyone should have on their desk.
That's right. That's right.
So that's awesome. I'm glad I dialed in. My wife's angry at me because we're supposed to be in the garage cleaning. But I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to talk to you guys and hear your thoughts on this. Appreciate you and Matt, both great leaders, man. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Miss Janine, for not going too crazy on.
Really great talking with you, Sergeant Major. Thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciated it.
Well, hey, look, man. It's Coffee
Yep,
Crepes.
thank you, Matt.
Leadership and Pancakes. We got Matt Johnson, Sergeant Major, and it's just me, Papa Gift, man. Doing what we do. It's Saturday. Thank you all for coming out and taking your time to spend Saturday early day with us. Early morning for some people. So until next time, we are out of here.
Y'all
Peace.
take care.
Peace. Y'all have a great Saturday, man. Love y'all.
See y'all next week.